Assassin's Creed Shadows is coming on November 15th this year. The world premiere trailer is out, but we have more information than that. From destructible environments, changing seasons to a completely different way of playing stealth. I've collected all the information available and put them together into this video. So lean back, grab a drink and discover the world of Assassin's Creed Shadows with me. I've got more than 40 facts for you. Story infos, gameplay features, weather features, combat styles, and many more things. So if you're interested in a specific topic, check out the timeline down below to skip to the topic you are interested in. But let's start with the most relevant one, of course, everything around the release. Of course, the release will be on November 15th and we'll be able to see first gameplay probably on June 10th. When the Ubisoft Forward is taking place, of course. But we can already take a sneak peek on upcoming gameplay shots. Thanks to the Ubisoft Creator Program, I've got hands on some assets that look like polished in-game screenshots. Of course, they are polished, but damn, they look fire. Especially the last one here, which is, I guess, shot out of a dialogue or cutscene from the game. You also will be able to play the game 3 days before the official release if you buy the Gold, Ultimate, or Collector's Edition. Yep. You heard it, there's the Collector's Edition. It comes with a hefty price tag of $280, £240 or 280 euros, depending on your region. And I bet if you're not quick enough, it's already sold out. The other options range from $70 to $130, and there's also a season pass with 2 upcoming expansions included if you buy the Gold Edition or upwards. By pre-ordering the game, you get access to the bonus quest Thrown to the Dogs, similar to the pre-order Beowulf mission from Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Good times, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. But let me say, I will do a proper video of all the versions available pretty soon, because in this video I want to focus more on the game informations themselves. So if you didn't do that already and don't want to miss that video and more content for Assassin's Creed Shadows, subscribe. We know the game will take place in the final steps of the Sengoku period, which is translated to period of warring states. So we are going to be right in the middle of many Japanese clans fighting each other, and probably also the Templars and Assassins. The game starts in 1579, and we will see the arrival of Yasuke in Japan, one of the 2 playable characters of Assassin's Creed Shadows. The story on how Yasuke arrived to the land far east and where exactly he's coming from is not 100% clear. Historians believe that he left his home country as a mercenary and that he later met an Italian Jesuit missionary with whom he then traveled to Japan as a protector. For 2 years, Yasuke aided this missionary with his Jesuit missions. We can expect to see a little progression of him, and we get to know the Japanese culture through his eyes, which is way more relatable than, he's a foreigner, and we are foreigners to the Japanese culture. It's similar to what we see in the Disney Plus series Shogun. There we learn the Japanese ways from the perspective of the British man John Blackthorne. Very recommendable the series, go and watch it if you have Disney Plus. Everything changes for Yasuke in 1581, so basically 2 years after his arrival, when he joins an audience with a very powerful daimyo called Oda Nobunaga. He's a local feudal lord who just unified half of Japan recently, so maybe he's not so local anymore. But anyway, Yasuke gets the attention from Nobunaga, and history-wise it's known that in the following months and years he serves as a samurai under him. Same thing here. We get to learn the ways of the samurai from the eyes of a foreigner, which is fantastic. The story is all about unification, and this daimyo, Oda Nobunaga, has big ambitions to unify the rest of the country. So in the same year he starts the second attempt of assaulting the Iga province. The fighting scene and the burned village we see in the cinematic trailer, by the way, is probably showing us this exact assault. Yasuke is part of it, and there he encounters Naoe for the first time. She, of course, you know that already, is the second playable character in the game. She is the daughter of the famous Fujibayashi Nagato, the leader of the Iga shinobi in the 16th century. She, in comparison to Yasuke, is a skilled shinobi and learned everything from her father. Unfortunately, her father and the rest of her family get killed by the Nobunaga clan, so she seeks revenge and sees a motivation to join the Brotherhood. If you watch the trailer, it's obvious those 2 are not friends in the beginning. How those 2 characters come together at the end is not clear yet, but would you know that they are both playable throughout the campaign together? What I'm pretty sure about is that playing with her is going to be way more stealthy and another experience than playing and crushing enemies with Yasuke. In my opinion, it wouldn't be possible to have those 2 different characters with 2 different playstyles if they wouldn't have changed and upgraded the Anvil engine. They made some big steps, and I'm super excited to talk about that with you now. But before I tell you more about that, I just want to say thank you to all the people who still support me. I had a long break and I'm back in business. I've started YouTube with Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I was part of the Mentors Guild, of the Star Player program, and I'm now still part of the Ubisoft Creator program. I'm very thankful for that, and I'm very thankful for all you guys who are still with me, so thank you, and let's continue with the video. Ubisoft made some really cool additions to their gameplay. First of all, there's a new global illumination system which creates dynamic light and shadows that affects the way enemies can see you and their surroundings. You're able to hide in shadows, for example, by destroying lanterns or turning off torches to be completely invisible. The next one is super new. There's a light meter on the UI that shows you how hidden or visible you are. Of course, this is nothing new in the Ubisoft universe. I think the developers took their inspiration from Splinter Cell, one of the best stealth games of all time in my opinion. But inside the AC universe, I think that's the first time they've used it. Oh wait, no, wait. Assassin's Creed Chronicles China, right? Didn't they use something similar there? Help me out in the comments. I'm not pretty sure about that. Anyway, let's move on, because the enemies are not the only NPCs who can spot and punish you when entering, let's say, a castle that you are not allowed in. Servants function as a bridge between enemies and civilians. They are not able to fight you, but they definitely can call guards or raise the alarm in case they see you. Similar to regular enemies, they also have their own patrol routes, so it's getting a bit more tricky in terms of stealth gameplay, which I like. If you want to be really invisible, you can crawl in a prone position now. Don't know if you're able to do that with Yasuke, to be honest, but yeah, we will try that out once the game is out. Especially this type of movement opens up new ways around the world of Assassin's Creed Shadows, because you can crawl through smaller openings and stuff. Those are just the additions to the stealth gameplay, but girls and boys, this is already insane. I just see what the improved engine and separation from the old gen is giving us. I'm really excited to see that finally in action. What about you? What are you most excited about and why? Since we were talking about crawling and moving sneaky over the map, let me show you what else in terms of movement has changed. Or will be changed. In the trailer you can spot a grappling hook that Naoe is using. Of course, inspiration came from the zipline-like grappling hook from AC Syndicate. However, the rope in AC Shadows is based on a physical simulation, so it's way more dynamic and flexible in its movement. Maybe like the rope movement that we see in the Spider-Man games? I don't know. And it's attachable to almost every roof edge and many more anchor points like you saw in the trailer. Don't know if you'll love it or hate it, but we won't have air superiority anymore while moving around. The drone-like bird is no more. No more Enkidu for us. Since we're talking about birds, Eagle Vision is also back. It allows you to spot enemies through walls. Enemies in red and servants in orange. It goes this far that we are able to assassinate enemies through walls. You can also see in the trailer that doors are destructible. Those are not the only things that are destructible, but the developers say if you wanted to, you could even destroy a full market. We're not gonna do that, of course. But, I mean, I'm looking forward to the moment where I cut through a paper door with my katana. That's cool too. And also, what I'm looking for is how those two characters interact with each other. Especially in those short-term action scenes. Are they fighting together, or can we just change the character whenever we want? I don't have an answer for that yet. But what I have an answer for is the new combat features that are coming. Do you know what surprised me the most from the combat features? The fact that we can do all the combat moves we see in the cinematic trailer inside the final game. With Yasuke, it's pretty obvious. He's able to parry and block incoming attacks easily. We've seen that in the trailer. He can use a arquebus rifle to counterpart the slowness of his movement. Should I say that he uses a katana too? I don't think so. I think that's too obvious. But on top of that, we are able to use a kanabo, the big weapon you see in the trailer, and a yari, that's a type of spear. On the other side, we have Naoe. She's able to have a close quarter fight with the enemy, but she's not able to block and parry. To not make her completely useless in open fights, Ubisoft gave her the ability to deflect enemy attacks. It's not super clear what they meant by that, but I guess it's just a small block against light attacks that you cannot counterattack. Her tools of choice are the shuriken, the kunai, the kusarigama, that's a sickle attached to a chain. We've seen that already on promo packs. Oh, and I almost forgot, of course, she uses 2 hidden blades. But those hidden blades are also very special because they are foldable. Memories from AC3 emerge here. So you can see that she has a tanto, like a small blade if she wants, or she can use just the hidden blades to come from above. Each of the weapons they use have a skill tree. Investing time and skill points in those weapons will increase the efficiency of those weapons. I can imagine it will be similar to the weapons skill tree from God of War, where we have to use a certain attack or kill certain enemies to unlock specific skill tree features or skills. If we then decide to go into open combat, we will encounter enemies that are armored for sure. Their armor has a durability system that we can break if we put in the work. Armor is not the only thing we can break. Almost every prop in the game is able to be damaged in a certain way. Katanas slice through doors and bushes and leave blade marks. Arrows leave a puncture mark in wood, for example, and blunt weapons like the kanabo smash everything they see. They both have individual trees though, however, they do share XP, resources, and weapons they've collected. The last and biggest highlight from the combat feature is the katana itself. We are able to craft our own katana from components we gathered. We are also able to personalize it, plus a transmog feature in case you want to have a specific look. How cool is that? My own katana in Assassin's Creed? Nice. But you think this was the peak information? Wait for the open world features. Holy cow. It's getting better, guys. As you realize, there are many more new things in Ubisoft's open world of Assassin's Creed Shadows. New lighting, new enemy behavior, different ways of moving around and fighting enemies, but the biggest change comes with the environment, I would say. Ubisoft is famous for their open world, and due to the improved Anvil engine, Ubisoft put in a season system that lets us play in all 4 seasons in Japan. It's going to be similar to the seasonal system from Hogwarts Legacy, where the season is dictated by the progress you have in the campaign, which is different to the seasons from Hogwarts Legacy. Each season has a specific feature that either allows or obligates us to find new ways moving around the map. In spring and summer, for example, are we able to hide in flowers and bushes. In winter, we don't have that anymore, and we have to find another way to get to the target, possibly through the snow to hide ourselves. Regarding the winter, it's obvious it's a lot of snow and ice. Frozen lakes and ponds make it possible for you to cross them more easily, but also prevent you from entering them. Let's say if there's a collectible or a secret entrance on the water. That's not possible then anymore. Icicles will be visible on roof edges, and let's say you use the grappling hook to get on top of the roof. It can be that they fall down, the icicles, and give enemies a hint that you are coming for them. So you see, the seasonal system is not only affecting you as a player, but also affecting the NPC behavior. In summer, samurais cut through bushes to look out for you. In winter, they try to stay close to each other, a fire pit, or warm places. So this way, every season offers a different level of possibilities for you to move around, and it's never the same. Helping you with that is the dynamic weather system. Depending on the region and season, you have different types of climatic situations. Just to call a few, deep fog, howling winds, a rain or snowstorm are able to provide the cover you need. I would love to discover all the islands of Japan, but we know from the developers that Assassin's Creed Shadows will take place in the central region of Japan. If you spotted this one, you also must have realized that parts of the map are already visible on the promo material from the collector's edition from Assassin's Creed Shadows. Size-wise, it's going to be similar to the one from Origins, which in my opinion is the perfect size. In the trailer, we already get a glimpse of how some regions could look like. We see Eager, the home of the Shinobi. We see Arima, the location of a big battle. Omi, basically the region of Japan that provides most of the food. And the harbor of Sakai. That's a harbor close to Osaka. And also we see Portuguese ships arriving there. Ubisoft wants us to discover the world more, and it has decided that we are not able to unlock all the points of interest on the map anymore when we synchronizing a viewpoint. From those viewpoints, we are only able to see the points of interest from the tower itself, but once we're down, the markers are gone and we have to find our own way towards those points. This way, it should feel more fulfilling to discover new areas or events on the map. But no worries, you don't have to walk around and ride around the map. We are still able to use those viewpoints as fast travel points. Castles and fortresses were always the perfect spot for us assassins to climb up and see the wonderful landscape around us, and it will be especially with the Japanese one. In Assassin's Creed Shadows it will be the same, just that this time all the castles we see, most of them, will be built or were built on a 1-to-1 scale almost. So this is going to be huge. Like, I'm looking forward to climb up this castle for 2 hours, basically. One of the castles we can actually see in the trailer, that is the Takeda Castle. Why do I know that this is the Takeda Castle? That's only a guess from my side, but the paper we see in the cinematic trailer that Naoe receives from the covered woman says, the enemy is in Takeda Castle. So, and since it's happening in the same trailer, I guess that's Takeda Castle. We are in the castle and we're looking for our target, so how is this going to work out this time in Assassin's Creed Shadows? It's very similar to the system we have in Assassin's Creed Mirage. It has evolved, and Assassin's Creed Shadows features a non-linear campaign which gives us players the freedom on when and where we want to encounter those targets. It can happen that we just encounter them in the middle of a market, others are more protected and need a more structured approach. The goal is also to make it more rewarding for players when getting to the target. It's similar to the system we know from God of War or Jedi Survivor, where we get hints from the outside to move on, but not a direct quest marker that would make this whole search for a target very easy and not fulfilling. I had one big fear that we would have too much freedom playing both characters at any point of the game. In the majority of the main quests, this is possible though. But still, there are missions where both characters have their own path to go, so where we only can do the mission with a specific character. Regarding targets, we have another information, because we saw that already in the trailer. We can build up a spy network, which will then help us to find this target or support us in other situations. We will also having a settlement that is called Hideout, where I can imagine some quests are also starting, and from where we control our spy network around Japan. The trailer didn't tell us something about the hideouts, but it has many hidden features you might have missed. So check this video out to know them all. Otherwise, a big thanks to you for watching. If you want to support me in my journey, stay here, subscribe to my channel, or leave an idea on what I should do next. Thanks again, and
sayonara.